Hi there, this is one of a number of videos relating to the Hotpoint FDW60 dishwasher, which will involve dismantling and component replacement. I'll also be covering some of the error codes associated with this model during the relevant videos. Before you start work on any domestic appliance, make sure it's turned off from the mains power supply first. In this video I'll be concentrating on the outlet pump, which is just one of the possible reasons for the flashing 4th and 5th neons on the console panel. The layout of this model is similar to that of the Hotpoint SDW60 and DWT10, as well as a number of other models made by Hotpoint, Creda, Indesit and Ariston. Should the 4th and 5th neons start to flash after the machine's been working for a short time, the manual says that one of the possible causes is the outlet pump. Now this can be because it's blocked, jammed or faulty. If you need further information about what different error codes mean, visit www.selfix-uk.co.uk and click on the error codes. Before you start work, remove the outlet hose from the standpipe if it's accessible and lower it into a washing up bowl. This will empty any water in it, plus if the pump is faulty and not blocked, it will also empty some of the water in the sump as well. You would also be advised to remove the filters and soak up any remaining water in the sump with a sponge. To gain access to the pump you'll need to remove the base plate, which means turning the machine on its back or side, and it would be advisable to lay it on something like a sheet or old towel to prevent scratching it. Plus you may still get some water come out, and having a towel there will soak it up. Remove the 2 screws holding the kick panel on, lift it and it will come free. This will give you access to the 3 screws on the front of the base plate. There's another 3 at the rear of the base plate as well. When they've all been taken out it can be removed, but be careful because it's still attached by 2 wires connecting to the float switch. This switch also has its own error code indicator, which is just the 4th neon flashing, but that's another video. It may not seem obvious at first, but there are 3 terminals on this switch and only 2 wires, so make a note where they fit or take a photo so they go back on the correct ones. You can do a continuity test on the pump while it's still in place. This will tell you if the pump's burnt out or electrically faulty. But if the pump's blocked or jammed, this test isn't much use and you'd have to remove it anyway. As you can see, I'm getting a reading on the meter, so this pump's okay. Undo the locking screw on the outer flange of the pump and twist the whole thing anti-clockwise. This will uncouple the bayonet tags holding the pump to the sump assembly and it will come free. Watch out for this rubber seal or it may fall out without you seeing it. Hold the pump over a bowl or bucket and remove the clamp on the outlet hose. This way, if there's any water left in the hose, it will go into the container rather than all over you or the floor. The pump is fitted with a non-return flap, and water in the hose will stay there rather than run back into the pump housing. So although there won't be any water when you remove the pump, there is still a possibility of water being in the hose. Check in the pump housing for any small item of food or bone. Even a piece of paper could be enough to stop the pump from turning. The housing comes off quite easily, but you'll need a Torx bit to undo the 3 screws. And be sure you mark where the 2 parts fit together for reassembling. When you're taking something apart for the first time, then do it slowly and make notes or take photos of wiring and fitments, so you know where everything goes when it's time to reassemble it. There's no prize for doing the job fast, just aggravation when you've forgotten where a part or a wire fits. As you can see, the impeller is turning in a jerky fashion, but that's how it's supposed to turn because it's made up of carbon magnets. So don't think it's faulty because it doesn't spin freely. However, if it gets stuck when you turn it, then it is faulty. Also watch out for anything in the housing section that may catch the impeller, such as a pin or a piece of glass embedded in the housing wall. In fact, any foreign objects that could cause a restriction in its movement. There's usually a few different positions the housing will fit onto the pump body, so provided you mark the two sections when you took it apart, then it will fit together the right way round. And remember not to over tighten the screws or you could strip the thread. These three tabs hook into the sump housing and lock the pump in place. Before you refit the pump, make sure this rubber seal is in place or you'll have a leak which will produce another error of code via the flashing neons. Fit the three tabs on the pump housing into their respective holes in the sump and turn it clockwise to lock the two together. Make sure the extended arm on the pump ends up at the top where a screw can be fitted to hold it all in place. It may be worth noting that both the circulation pump and the discharge pump are wired in series, so if the circulation pump is faulty, this could affect the discharge pump and the machine may not empty. It just remains to refit the outlet hose and clamp ring, then replace the wiring plugs on both the pump and float switch before refitting the base panel and kick strip. This has been a free information video about a Hotpoint FDW60 dishwasher outlet pump on behalf of Selfix UK. Why not visit our website at www.selfix-uk.co.uk for more helpful tips and spare parts.